Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Katmia.
Welcome to the This and That Chat.
Happy summer.
Summer.
Ooh, you said oh summer and I said happy summer. Do we have opposing views on summer?
I don't think so. I think I just was saying oh summer because summer is here.
Summer is here. I think summer has been here for some people. I think it started in June, but
we're starting to.
Our summer, I feel this year is different.
To feel it.
Well,
feel it because we're doing some stuff.
Well, now that anatomy's over, I feel like now if we have summer plans, they can happen. You know, it's
right.
like so. Before it couldn't happen, where maybe summer started in June for some people. But
Our
when you
summer
say
starts
feel
late.
it, yes. When you say feel it, are you talking about heat?
Well, no, I feel the heat all the time because I work in the sun. But
this is where you and I differ greatly, because I feel like we're very alike in many things. Well, how would you rate that, actually? Would you say
different?
that we are would you say that we're very similar in a lot of things, or would you say that we're very different? Because I don't know if I view us differently than you do.
No, I think we've become very similar.
I agree. We're
kind of like, you know how they say that the dog,
yes.
the owner starts to look like their dog?
Yes.
I think we are starting to look like the spouse.
What? Wait, what did you say?
How? Okay, you know how
No,
how
I
they
know.
say,
just say the last part.
Oh, that we're starting to look like our spouse.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just heard the spouse, and that didn't make any sense to me. Yes, like
well, I did say the spouse, but I'm saying like we're starting. No, the owner looks like the dog.
Yeah.
And
so people
we are
think
starting
we're
to
related.
look like the spouse.
Actually, if people thought we were related, we are related. We're husband and wife. Why is that weird when people say that?
Your logic there is really weird.
If you were asked, is she of any relation to you? Yes, that is my wife. That's very interesting, right?
That is an interesting little thought there.
Wow.
But weird. So let's talk about summer instead.
But we do weird so good.
That one's a little bit on the weirdest side. Yeah.
Because I think I just uncovered something there. Wow. But, yeah. So before, I used to really want to be what?
It's too weird.
Right.
I can't. The thought is in my brain. Make it go away.
That we're related.
No.
I was saying that before, many moons ago, I used to want, please, let's go to the Keys. Let's go to the beach. Remember? Mm-hmm. Especially when the kids were smaller.
Yeah.
I wanted them to play in the sand. I wanted us to have, and the thing is, if you're going to go to the beach, it's like an all-day affair. And we have that little spot in the Keys that we would go to.
It takes 2 hours to get there.
Right.
And then...
Because we've already established you're a beach snob, so there's only specific places that you will go to.
Yes.
And my dad, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, I've never explored this, maybe he was also a beach snob, and that's why he would take these long drives all the way to Jupiter and Vero. Those were Sebastian Inlet. Those were his favorite places to go. Okay? And I love them, because you got to do the long trip. And there was a lot of sand. A lot of those beaches did not have seaweed. I hated feeling the seaweed. I think we talked about that too. But going to that little spot in the Keys it was an all-day affair. Like we would have to take the grill and we would have to eat and the tent. And
it was 2 hours to get there, an hour to set up.
And you have to get there early because otherwise you miss your spot.
And then you're right into cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're done cooking, you're picking up.
Poor you. I'm actually thinking back, like, I feel like you only got into the water maybe for like an hour.
Of course, that's it.
You were doing everything. And I enjoyed it so much because I had nothing to do.
You're welcome.
Thank you. No wonder it was such a pleasant experience for me.
And then she wonders. Why
But
I'm
all of that.
such a beach snob? It's because it limits the amount of times that we went.
But you did enjoy Sarasota.
I love Sarasota.
But also, was it because you didn't have to do a lot of the stuff?
No, the thing is, okay, so, well, technically Siesta Key, right?
Right.
So
Specifically.
So that was one of my favorite vacations, even growing up. I know growing up when I was younger, I mean, all I had to do was drag the cooler, and whatever. But I don't know. You're at the beach, so
And because
it's a
you're
5-minute
staying there.
walk,
Right.
to the
Because you're
beach.
staying there.
And if you're at the beach and you're tired and you want to go in, you go in. And I remember so many times we would set everything up. You just
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt your thought.
well, it's like
Okay. Have you ever had an itch in your hand?
that you suck your thumb.
No, I bit myself.
Okay.
It's the hardest place to scratch. How do you
Because
scratch your hand?
Because of calluses.
Probably. So you have to bite really hard. Sorry.
Anyways, so I remember we would set up the tent. We had like a little tent thing or the umbrellas or whatever it was. And we would put all the stuff there and we'd enjoy the beach. And then right around lunchtime, we'd just take everything, compact it all underneath, close everything up, leave everything out on the beach.
Wow.
Walk inside.
Without fear of anyone stealing anything.
I don't think we cared. We would go in, we'd have lunch, sometimes take a nap, and then come back out to the beach and enjoy the beach for a couple more hours in the afternoon before coming back in for dinner.
And then go back out for the sunset.
And then go back out for the sunset. So.
Yeah, that's a lot different than having to drive 2 hours, set up. And then remember how hard it was to like get the charcoal out and get that thing to cool off before we put it back in the van.
I cheated a lot of times.
Well, how?
Just dug at that little hole, dumped it in the hole, and put water on it. It's bad because I would leave charcoal out there and I really wasn't supposed to.
Okay, wow. Confessions. That's for another day.
They don't know our spot.
Confessions. That's true. Let's not tell anyone our spot. But one thing that we did for many years was instead of just doing a day at the beach, we discovered cruising.
Oh, yes.
Right?
See, now we're talking.
And I think we discovered cruising in 2015. Am I wrong? Right. No.
Our type of cruising.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. But I'm saying like that was the thing. I mean, there were many people who would make fun of the fact that we were cruising every year, remember?
Yes. So before we get into those cruises, should we talk about our first cruise?
Well, because that's what I kind of was feeling like this episode. There was a specific theme that was hanging around. That's why I talked about the cruise, because I wanted to share with people the different times in our lives, our experience with free stuff and with friend hookups or people we know hookups and how that has turned out for us.
Mm-hmm.
Preach.
It needs more of a mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the free cruise.
We were in Sarasota.
Wow, you finally made the connection.
I just made the connection.
So one of the things that we liked doing when we were in Sarasota, which I never really could understand because, afterwards when I came into the family, your family continued going to Sarasota and now I got to go and Mikey got to go as well. Nikki later when she was born. But there was always like this one time in the week that we would go out into the town and go to the mall.
Well, we went to the mall because we were going to the movies.
Is that why? And always why do I remember Fast and the Furious playing during that time?
Because we went to go see it.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. And so we go to the mall and we're walking around. I'm not really a mall person at all. We used to do that as a pastime early in our marriage. Remember, we would drive up from the Keys to go to the mall just to walk around.
Because there was nothing in the Keys.
There was nothing to do. And so we would come up to the mall. And you and I are both not mall people, right?
We really aren't a lot of stuff people.
Yes, I know. We are we love staying in.
We love what we love.
We love what we love, yes. And we
there's-
love it well.
Well, that's an unfair
What?
statement that we love staying in. I don't know that it's so much that we love staying in, but if we are going out for something that we are going to really enjoy. We're very picky about what we're going to go do.
That's true.
Because we like to go out to a restaurant.
Yeah.
We like to go out to the movies. We like to go, even when we go to Naples, like we'll walk Fifth Avenue. We enjoy that. We'll walk and we'll do window shopping, go into the stores. Those are very specific things.
I guess we're very set into our routine.
Yes.
And we like that. Because I know that if we were to go to a new city, like, for example, our 20th anniversary, we were supposed to stay in Alexandria in Virginia and explore, like, all of that. I know we would have been out looking at that stuff. But that, like you said, is very specific.
Right.
It's not we're a weekend, let's go out, people, let's go to the beach.
We value our time.
Yes. More so as you get older, I think. But anyway, so we went to the mall, and there was this person who stopped us, right? They had a little table set up, and they were like, hey, you guys, we're giving away a free cruise.
No, it was a car.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it being a car. I just remember there was a raffle.
They had a car, and it was a raffle for the car.
Okay.
So we were like, sure, why not? Let's fill it out.
Yeah, whatever, right? And in my whole life, I don't know if you ever, in my whole life, I had never won anything.
No.
Okay, so, I had entered a couple things on the radio. That was never me who won anything. So I remember thinking, we're not going to win anything, right? And then, I don't know, maybe like, what would you say? Was it about like 6 weeks later? Because it was a while.
Something like that, yeah.
Right? I get a random call saying, hi, guess what? You guys won a free cruise to the Bahamas. And at first, I was positively sure this was like a telemarketer, whatever. And I was like, what do you mean we won a cruise? And they're like, did you enter a raffle? I was like, no, I haven't entered any raffle. And they were like, well, I have your name right here. And and all of a sudden I remember, oh my God, Sarasota. Right? And I was like, yes. But that was like months ago or weeks ago or whatever, right? And she was like, well, you won. Now, neither of us have ever been on a cruise, right?
No.
B, after asking a few more questions, we realized this is like legitimate. It's not a scam. These people, our name was drawn from all of that, and we won a free 4-day, 3-night cruise.
We thought we were
to the Bahamas. You're getting ahead of the story, okay? So I'm pregnant with Nikki here. This is 2001. Nope, it's 2002. Because it was right around our anniversary. That cruise was right about April when we went, okay? So I'm pregnant with her, and this is like amazing that we have won this cruise. Even though it's just 4 days, right? I'm just like, I feel like one of the rich and famous, because to me, the only cruise I know about is the Titanic at this point, honestly, okay? Again, no Google. I'm not looking these things up, right? Now, points for you if you remember the name of the cruise line. Because I want to look them up and see if they're still in business.
I have no idea.
They're called Discover.
Oh, they are still around.
They are. Wow.
Those are the day cruises to the Bahamas.
So the lady tells me right before I get off the phone, and she takes all my information, right? I just cannot wait to get off the phone with her so that I can call you. She said, all we need is $75.
The port fees.
No, sir. No. You're ahead of the game here. This is just to process the paperwork. $75. Okay. I was like, okay, maybe that's just how it works, you know? I said, I have to call my husband. Can I call you back? I call you. I tell you everything. You're like $75. Let's. Right? We give them the $75 to say we're going to receive a package with all the information. And then we have to call them once we get all of it. Sure enough, in a week, I think, we had a whole packet.
That thing was in the mail before we gave the $75.
I don't think so. I think they held that. But we get this packet, right? And it's telling us all of these, there's a lot of like mumble jumble things. And it says you have to call in to confirm your spot on the cruise. And so we call them and they tell us, oh my goodness, we're so excited, So just to explain, you guys won the cruise, right? And everything that comes with it. But this is, it's not a cruise that you sleep in. Okay. This cruise just takes you there and then brings you back. This cruise includes the trip and the resort stay in the Bahamas, right? Where were we? Remember where we went? Freeport. Okay. Oops. It includes the resort stay there, right? But it does not include taxes and port fees. Mm-hmm. That's $500.
No, it was hold on. That was less because remember, there's another.
I'm sort of wrapping it up because I'm just trying to break down what we actually ended up paying. Okay, into like little chunks. Well, no, we're not getting super specific.
I know, but
here.
The thing is that it was enticing enough for us to pay it because it's like
$4.99.
It was like $200. And we're
I
like,
actually do think it was like $250.
Yeah, so we're like, that's fine.
300, but $250. We were like a little bit like, ouch.
That was more than a week of pay for me.
Yes. Okay. At this point, we're still eating peanut butter sandwiches.
Yep.
Okay. Which I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
No, we haven't.
But this is early in our marriage, and we are still figuring out how to make 2 pennies into $1. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we go ahead and we pull out the credit card, and we're like, okay, we're going to pay that, right? Great. We're so excited to have you on board, right? The next call that comes in is from the resort, telling us that they have a special. This is a beautiful resort right on like this private beach in Freeport, and that does not come included with our trip.
Right, but we can upgrade.
We can upgrade. The upgrade is $200 a night.
Mm-hmm.
That I remember.
Yep.
Okay. Mind you, it's 3 nights, 4 days, 3 nights. We're at $600, $800.
But it was all inclusive.
All inclusive,
Yeah.
right? All inclusive. And so we're super, super excited about this. But immediately I'm like, that's a scam. Now they're just trying to milk us for money. Absolutely not. No, thank you. We're not interested. I happened to have an appointment that day with my midwife. And we went to tell her, hey, by the way, we're going on a cruise. And she's like, oh, my goodness, where are you going? Blah, blah, blah. And we started talking a little bit about the cruise. And she said, my daughter went on that cruise. Mind you how she didn't save us. She didn't tell us everything.
Yeah.
She did, however, tell us, if they tell you to do the upgrade, do the upgrade. They called her about the upgrade. And she said, no, thank you. I don't want the upgrade. And then she ended up in a Roach motel. Now, I trust. Well, do I say trusted? Because it's in the past. I don't know. Our midwife. Enough that I was like, wow, if she's saying to do that, maybe we should pay attention. It is probably one of the only things that I'm so glad that we listened. Because it would have become the vacation from hell. Mm-hmm. Had we not listened. So we called them back and we're like, okay, yeah, we're going to take the upgrade. $600. Okay. Here we go. So how much is our free cruise?
We're at $1,000.
Okay. Now, anything on the ship, not included. Any food or drink on the ship was not included. Okay. And yes, we got breakfast and dinner. Remember, at the resort? But anything else that we needed, not included. Transportation around Freeport, not included. These are all the... Yes, you just remember.
Yeah, I got to jump in. So So we.
Well, no, don't jump into the city. Hold that thought because we've got a sail. Okay.
Oh boy.
And so we picked up maybe even a couple new outfits. Okay, to go on this cruise. And honestly, like I'm in my this is like Titanic, but I'm not thinking the sinking part, just like the exciting part of like everybody waving. And we get on the ship,
which is a big boat.
Okay, well, honestly, I have never seen a cruise, so I don't know what to expect. I have been told it's like a floating city in the water. That's what I've been told, okay? And we get on. I remember my back is to the ocean. I'm looking at where, I guess, like, what would you call that? The port? Not the port. Where is it the gangway? Where are the people standing, waving at you?
The people stand where the people stand and
where the people stand and wave, right? And I'm just like so excited, like I'm here. I remember even I was wearing a hat, and I'm so excited, right? And it was so bright and sunny that day. I'm never going to forget how the sun was blocked out suddenly. Okay, suddenly it was like a giant shadow just was passing behind me, and I do like the slow motion turn behind me. And all I can see is like the bottom portion of a ship. There are no windows. There's nothing because you have to like crank your head up so that you can see all of the stories, all of the windows.
The people
like on the high rise.
They weren't waving at us. They were waving at them.
They were waving at them. Okay. And I'm like, what is that? And all of a sudden comparing that was Royal Caribbean who was sailing behind us, okay? To us, we are like the teeny weeny sunset cruise, the drinking cruise, the booze cruise.
The booze cruise.
Okay? That is no bigger than, I mean, there are yachts that are bigger than that thing, I'm sure, okay? All of a sudden, I have like a sinking feeling. Like, wait a minute, this is not a cruise. I don't know what we're on here, okay? And so we take off, and I'm thinking, I don't know, babe, was it like 10 minutes into it? The vomiting begins?
Something like that. It wasn't very long.
Oh my gosh. They had, now that we have actually experienced cruises, we know that they love the entertainment and like let's dance and let's get everybody hyped up and all that stuff, right? They had like there are two people, remember, who were trying to hype everyone up?
Yeah. Pointing
Meanwhile, look around you at the sun deck, which I think everybody was there. Everybody's holding on to some part of the boat. People are hurling over the side of the boat.
The pool was emptied to half, right?
Yes.
And the waves were pushing the water up and out of the pool.
Okay.
It was a mess.
I'm feeling so nauseous. And mind you, that when I was pregnant with Nikki, I did not have nausea. Remember, I did not have any morning sickness with her. First time in my pregnancy, I am so nauseous. And I remember I found, I don't even know how, because people were like passed out in the beach, the lounging chairs. And I find a chair. And I said, please, can you get me something? You brought me over a coconut, what's it called? A coconut daiquiri? That's not what it is.
It was non-alcoholic.
Of course.
In case anyone's like,
wait, what's the coconut drink called?
I don't know. Coconut water?
No, it's like one of those frozen drinks.
Oh, a pina colada.
A pina colada. Thank you. That's what you brought me. And I remember I have it. And all of a sudden, this little kid comes running around my chair.
Pina colada was like $30 or something.
Okay. He comes running around. I'm like, kid, what are you doing here? And all of a sudden, he just... Oof.
The memory almost brought it up.
Yes. Whoa. Okay. Let's skip that part. He threw up all next to me and right there. Like, my eyes are welling right now because I just gagged terribly. Okay. All of a sudden, it's coming up. It's coming up. I get up. I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, it's coming up. And I start walking as best as I can because it's like you're going like to one side, walk, and then you have to wait for the wave to push you to the other side to walk.
It was horrible.
Like a Z. finally find the women's bathroom. I throw open the door so dramatically. And all you can hear is vomit, vomit, vomit. Every single stall is taken. The lady, the cleaning lady's there with her mop and her bucket. She looks at me so like, this is my life, okay? And I look at her like, oh, lady, you know, I'm sorry for what I'm about to do. I ran right behind her to a sink and I just started vomiting. Terrible. I think she felt sorry for me because I was pregnant. You can get away with a lot when you're pregnant. Okay. And after that, it was like, will I ever feel land again? I didn't think we were going to make it. Remember we went to like a theater that they had?
No, it was the back end of the casino.
Oh, is that what it was? I don't even know. I just remember sitting in some chairs and we were trying to feel like, where was it better?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we didn't have to sleep on that ship.
It was horrible.
So then, now we are on land. Finally, we arrive. I think I even may have kissed the ground when we got off. Okay. But then we're here. And there's the bus that's come to pick us up. Mm-hmm. Here, you can take over.
So we get on this bus. And what's that movie, the one that they get on a bus to move into like the lost city in the woods? And it's like there's chickens running across the top. It was not great. It literally looked like I don't know. It was like a farm bus. It was a farm bus that had chairs in it. And it takes
no AC, remember?
No AC,
oh, God,
nothing. It was like so an hour to the hotel. So we get to the hotel, and when we walk into the hotel,
you forgot. We drove by it on our way there.
I thought we looked it up.
No, we drove by it.
Did we?
Yes.
So we drive by. We see a mini golf that's like.
Oh, hun, not the mini golf.
The what?
I'm talking about we drove by.
Oh my goodness gracious! See, I've deleted that memory. Okay. So on our way to the resort, we passed the resort that we won. The one that was free.
Because they're dropping people off.
Okay? And I have a vivid memory.
I do too.
Okay? Of looking at the tennis courts. Right? That in their flyer, you see people with big old smiles. And,
oh, yeah.
And they're just playing tennis, like enjoying life. And you couldn't see the nets because they were full of like 4 foot tall grass.
I know. Remember the gate
holes.
was like hanging
oh my goodness,
sideways?
The gate was falling over. You could see
it looked abandoned.
Yes.
I don't know how anybody actually stayed there. The people who they dropped off, they looked at us drive away with like,
they're like,
help.
There goes the upgrades.
That would have been us.
It would have been.
That would have been us.
And then when we drove by, you see the pool, and there's people sitting out on the pool. Okay? And
they gotta make the best.
Listen, the deck looked like it had been beat up. I'm sure the pool was clean because it didn't look like it was bad, but it didn't look welcoming.
Wow. To put it mildly.
Yeah.
It looked like a horror. Like someone was going to die that night.
What did those rooms look like?
Oh my God.
Ugh.
To talk about a roach motel, she put it to us nicely.
Ugh.
Okay, but then we get to our resort.
We get to ours.
Wow.
And let me tell you, it was amazing.
It was.
It was amazing. And
on the beach.
We really did enjoy our time there.
We did.
It was really, really good.
We needed to because we paid.
Yep.
Almost
and we
$1,500
And we spent money that we didn't have. A lot of money we didn't have.
And then we did look it up because we asked.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So we find this little.
Because we love it.
Mm-hmm, this little mini golf place.
Everywhere we go, we like to play mini golf.
Yeah. And we're excited. We're like, cool. We get to play mini golf.
In the Bahamas.
And we call a taxi. He comes and he picks us up. And it was like 47.
Yeah, where are you going? to the mini golf place. Okay.
Yep. No problem. I got you. I take you now. Okay, let's go. It's going to be $47. And I was like, damn. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so we get going, and we get there, and it's closed.
A big old sign.
Yeah.
And
closed
we tell
for
him,
the season.
And we tell him, but it's closed. And he's like, oh, yeah. It's closed.
You don't open till June.
We're like, why did you bring us here?
Yeah, because I make $47.
And it'll be $47 to take you back.
Let me tell you something.
And literally, there was nothing around. Remember, It's not like we could even walk or go anywhere.
Nothing.
I don't even think we had cell phones.
No, we went there and went back.
Literally.
It was such a waste of...
We did go to a bazaar, though, remember?
That wasn't even, like...
I don't even know. I just remember people were trying to pull us into tents, and we were like, no, I don't want what you're selling.
Yeah, we at that point, we decided that we were just going to go back.
Safer.
Yes.
And we were probably not safe also.
No, absolutely not.
No, but we had no concept of this.
No.
Okay.
So we go back to a resort, and we decide we're just going to enjoy the resort. And we enjoyed the pool and the beach.
And they had a swim-up bar, remember?
Yep. And I remember the guy out on the beach. You'd be like, yeah, I'd like an order of fried conch. And he's like, okay, give me a minute. And the guy would literally put on a mask and snorkel, go out into the water, come back with a conch, break it open, prepare it. That was probably the best conch we've ever had. It was really good.
Amazing.
So, but we had good food. We had good time. We did
and
enjoy.
And the staff was very friendly there. I remember they were very friendly.
We enjoyed it once we got there.
The tiny little convenience store they had there?
Oh,
where
right.
We could buy water and cookies.
That was about it.
That's about it. But then, we had to make the trip back, which was less nauseating.
Yeah, it wasn't as nauseating
than the first. But I think that was 2001. It took us all the way until 2015 to go on a real cruise.
Was that our first cruise?
And because we were supposed to be going for our 15th anniversary.
I don't know. I feel like we went on a cruise earlier than that.
Maybe. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look at pictures and stuff, but maybe. Now that you say it, I'm kind of seeing like an album that we made with 2012. I don't know.
The feet one.
Yeah, the feet one.
It was 2012.
Okay. We'll have to look that up to verify. But, oh my God. This time around, the very first time on the cruise when we went, and we took our children, right? We were the ones who passed by the little Discover boat. Remember? And I wanted to tell them all, run!
Take Dramamine!
And what a difference. That was a city
incredible.
Floating in the water. Like, I don't know. I know that there's some people. Let's take COVID out of the equation here, okay? Because I know that a lot of people don't want to be in proximity to that many people. Let me tell you something. Disney is so fun, and Disney has its place, and there are some times where nothing else will do but for you to go to Disney, right?
Yes.
Right? But that it's not a vacation, a relaxing vacation anyway. To me, this was the only vacation that I've ever been on where I have felt entirely relaxed.
Well, we don't have to cook. We don't have to clean. It doesn't matter what time we get up. If we're hungry at 2 a.m, we pick up the phone. Like, we literally have people
all the time.
Yeah, we literally had people at our beck and call. We felt rich.
Yeah, you sure do.
And we were very poor.
And the places that you get to go see, and the things that, like, we've traveled almost the entire Caribbean. There's only a few. I know, like some of the British islands that we haven't seen.
I think we only had like 4 stops that we haven't been on.
And there's some that we haven't been on because we haven't really wanted to go to those places. But we've visited some of them twice, 3 times, And it's just amazing every single time.
When we get there, we look forward to the stuff that we're going to go do.
Yes. And
even though it's the same stuff.
I mean, I remember that in that whole time we took one trip that was an 8-day cruise, remember? When we went to Aruba? And it was so funny because on that last day, the entire family said, we're ready to go back home.
Yeah.
Like you're cruised out.
We were exhausted.
And you're exhausted from doing nothing because you can literally do nothing.
But we got, let me tell you, I think that cruise was the cruise that we were the most relaxed in. Because our kids were old enough that they were
in and out of clubs by themselves.
They were doing all their stuff. And we had no, like, we would just tell the kids, all right, dinner's at 6. Bye. Mm-hmm. And that was it. We'd catch them at lunch because they were in line, and we knew where Mike was always going to be because he was going to be in the Asian food line.
Yep.
And Nikki was picking up a burger.
Always.
And we'd always catch them in the same spots, and we were like, okay, don't forget 6 o'clock, and they're like, yeah, they were gone.
Yep.
And they
had great programs for kids their age, so they were entertained. They made friends, and they had the water park. So literally, that's literally where they spent their whole entire time.
It was funny because there was a few times they would do a scavenger hunt on the cruise, and the kids would come together to do that scavenger hunt. So we were out by the pool or sitting in the back or whatever it was that we were doing, and all of a sudden this group of kids would just come flying by, running, and one of our kids was in the group, and they were like, hey mom, hey dad, gone. And you could tell that they just had an amazing time. And we goodness, we were so rested after that. I mean, it was incredible.
It was.
And we actually had one story from that cruise when we went to Curacao. We stopped. We had booked the cruise excursion to go to the Curacao plant where they make the drink.
Yes.
And our bus broke down, and we were stuck on the bridge, and we ended up having to walk off on the side of the road and wait for another bus to come. And
I think we were broken down maybe for about 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much.
And people were already drinking all their waters and like panicking
and drinking their alcoholic drinks that they bought. But
man.
Carnival was very gracious. They actually gave us the excursion back. They gave it to us for free.
Yep.
Just for the situation that happened.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that cruising changed very much for us, and it was really, really good.
Yes, and it actually became like a yearly vacation that we would do in the summers.
And I can't wait to go back.
Yes, and so
we actually had one booked.
We did have one booked before the pandemic started. We were supposed to go on. It was going to be our last family vacation before Mikey moved out to go to college, and we had this booked for June of 2020. Yep. And, pretty much nobody thought that anything was going to last as long as it did.
No.
And
we were doing everything normal. We were making our plans. We were, putting everything together like if it was. Well,
because initially when they said, hey, lockdown for 2 weeks, we thought it's 2 weeks.
Right. And we'd be done and over.
Yeah.
And even like I took Nikki to the concert. The day before
the lockdown, she went to go see Billie Eilish, and that was literally her last concert before. I'm talking about Billie's last concert before everything got shut down.
She had it here in Miami, and then she had to cancel Georgia the next day because everything got shut down.
Yeah, so crazy how all of that. You had a trip with Mike planned
to New York. Yeah, we couldn't go
that weekend.
That same weekend.
Because you were still like, should I go?
Right. The concert was on Tuesday. The concert was on Tuesday with Nikki. Wednesday morning we wake up and they were like, guys, 2 weeks to slow the curve or whatever it was that they were calling it. And we had tickets booked for Friday morning.
Yep.
and we ended up having to cancel it.
Yeah, and it was so great because literally after that became like
the hotspot.
Yes, you know. So, but anyway, yeah, it was like come May we had to, you know, Carnival said we're shutting everything down. So we pushed it to this year. It was supposed to be in April that we were going to go. And then they called us back and they said, we still don't have permission to sail. So
they gave us our money back. And
yeah. So right now we're suspended indefinitely, but I do look forward to the day when everything, hopefully next year, I don't know, you know, when stuff like that happens. But, but so that is the story of our free cruise. And you would think that from that we would learn about free stuff, right? We would learn, but we don't, you and I don't learn very well.
It takes us a little while, but I think that we are now in a ripe old age where
either we have become too cynical and we are like suspicious of everything.
I'm okay being cynical because I won't get busted again on that. And listen, we share our stories because we look back and we can laugh at them.
We can. And I don't know like what other people's experiences are with that, but it's happened to us already where our experience with people, and I'm not going to say friends because it's not friends who have done this, but it's like people we know. Like I know someone who said, remember, I know somebody who said go to their tire shop and they're going to take care of you. Remember? Mm-hmm. You remember?
Yeah.
Remember how they took care of you?
Yeah.
Full price.
Yeah. 4 tires that were horrible, and then we ended up having to go get new tires in 6 months.
Full price.
Because they did a horrible alignment.
Hookup.
Yeah.
That was the I know somebody hookup.
Do you remember the guy that used to work with me? He was a receiving clerk at Babath when I was working there. And he had a part-time job at Red Lobster. And the Red Lobster opened up just right here in Homestead. It was brand new, and we were like, "Ooh, Red Lobster!" And he's like, "Come on in. I'm gonna take care of you.
He actually pursued you many times. When are you gonna bring your wife?
When are you gonna bring your wife? I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna
Let me know when you're going to make sure I'm working.
Let me take care of you. Let me take care of you. If you missed it, he said, "Let me take care of you," so many times that we felt obliged to go.
Exactly. We felt obliged.
Let me tell you,
guy.
Listen, hold on.
No,
I gotta give him a little bit of credit.
Oh.
We ate so many cheddar biscuits that night because he took care of us. He brought cheddar biscuits until our bill came, and it was what it was that we ordered.
Because he pressured us.
Oh,
when we got there, he was like, "You guys are not going to order drinks? Order drinks. Order drinks." And we're like, "Okay." We ordered a drink. Okay.
We ordered several drinks.
Appetizer. Guys, I'm going to take care of you guys.
What are you going to order? What are you going to...
So you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking the entire time that he is going to, like, comp our bill entirely, maybe. But I'm thinking, nah, at best, 50%. We're going to get a huge discount on this stuff, right? So we ordered. And then our bill comes at full price.
It was almost $200.
At full price.
Let me tell you, we did not have $200. I looked at Ketmia and I told her that we did not have $200 in the account.
Stop it.
Remember? You had to. I'm
just freaking out about this because
she had to pull. Listen, it was a miracle that she had just enough on a credit card.
This is
oh my
ridiculous.
Goodness, it was ridiculous.
Ridiculous, because then when he comes over, right, how do you ask? And I was like, Peter, ask. You have to ask. And he comes over and you kind of like, hey, bro, hey, where's the hookup? And the guy looks at you in disbelief and he says, I brought you biscuits. Did I not keep your sodas filled the entire night? Literally at that point, I was waiting for a camera to come out and say,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah, you're on candid camera.
you are on. Remember Candid Camera? Such a good show. And no one came out. No one came out to save us. Literally, we deserved it. We deserved it for being idiots. Okay. To just believe somebody like that. Because, well, the thing is, they didn't ever actually say, we're going to give you a discount. We're going to comp your bill. It was just, I'm going to take care of you. And we assumed.
Horrible.
What happens when you assume? That's exactly what happened to us.
And now, listen, I'm going to.
So somebody said something.
You make a donkey, but using the other word, a donkey out of you and me.
A derriere.
A derriere.
But I don't remember. Somebody recently said something to us about, when you're ready for that, I know somebody who can do it. And you and I looked at each other and we were like, yeah thanks, no.
Okay. Uh-huh.
We do not want the friend hookup no more.
I'll have my people not call your people.
We have not had any luck at all with this.
It was years of us falling for this stuff.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. The lessons that we learned are so valuable that we've been able to pass a lot of that down to our kids. I'm hoping that they are listening. Children, if you're listening, listen. Don't fall for the hookups. Run for your lives.
So I've always wanted to be I don't know. I've always been very, very careful about recommending people.
My
that's
dad
another thing.
Actually just told me this yesterday.
Who?
My dad.
Uh-huh.
That same. Oh no.
Oh
Am
no.
I foreshadowing?
Oh dear.
My dad teaching me, his son, not to fall for something. We're trying to teach our kids, but we fell for it the same.
Oh darn.
Mike, listen, son. Listen.
You know what the problem is that we think, and happens for everybody. Kids always think, I'm smarter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make the same mistakes. Yes, Dad, thank you. Yes, Mom, thank you. But I'm not going to make the same mistakes you made. But the thing is, it comes disguised differently.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you're smarter
right. You
than
don't see it. But see, my dad, what he told me was, because I had a request for if I knew an electrician to do some electrical work in a garden that's at the front of one of our associations. And I told him that I didn't personally know anybody. Let me ask and see if maybe my dad does or somebody else does. And when I told that to my dad, he says, never recommend anyone to anybody, because the one that looks bad is you.
Yep.
Because if they did a good job for you, but they do a bad job for the other person, they don't look at the other at the person doing the job. They do at the person who recommended.
Yep.
So,
but I will
if
say
you ask
this,
me for a recommendation,
I think we only have one honest recommendation that we would be able to give. To be honest with you,
what's that?
The people who clean our car.
The people who clean our car.
I mean, I don't think that they can do any wrong.
No.
I don't think any.
Jenny and Lisandro.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. If you guys need somebody to clean your car
Mobile
and you
car
are
wash.
in Homestead, call us. They come every 2 weeks. And I never thought...
I think you can look them up. Their business is called Time to Shine.
Yeah. Like, I personally never thought that we would be come clean our car people, right?
You never thought you would be a Roomba owner people.
You are a Roomba owner people, and I just happen to benefit from it. But I never thought that we would be like, somebody who would come have somebody come out to come clean the car. And when we bought the car, we bought our first brand new car ever.
We've always had used lemons.
At 19 years of marriage. Like, we were together for 19 years when we bought our first new car. And I just don't have time to maintain and clean it the way I want to make sure that it stays good for a very long time. And we're like, okay, we'll do it once a month. But they have kept our car. Like, our car is a year and a half old, right? About a year and a half old. almost in October, it'll be 2 years.
Okay.
So about a year and a half. That car looks better than when we took it out of the dealer.
And it was new when we took it.
And it was new when we took it out of the dealer. Everything is shiny. Everything is like brand new. There's nothing. It's brand new.
We even like looked at the engine because they wanted to show us how they had cleaned the engine.
Like everything, I swear that if you could hide the odometer on the car,
yeah,
the car could be sold as a brand new car.
Yep,
and
100%.
And when was it last week or the week before, we had to cancel with them because it was just raining.
Right, because Elsa.
And we were like, what? Our car, look at it. It's dirty. And it only had like 4 spots on it. It was like not even that big of a deal. The carpet inside was a little bit dirty, whatever. But we're so used to just having them here every 2 weeks. And they do such an amazing job. The car smells amazing. It's super, super clean. Like, yeah. Sorry.
So those are the only people, really.
But on recommendation of another person, they sent us the other car wash guy that ended up just leaving us.
That's true. You are correct about that.
On
Somebody else recommended someone, and it was not a good recommendation. So, that's the thing. It's because I don't want to ever, I started saying that because I don't want to ever be the person who's like, oh, you told me you were going to hook me up and they didn't hook me up.
Nope.
Because sometimes, not only is it like you don't even know what they're promising you if they just vaguely say the hookup, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. One more to close off the thing. Okay. So about 10, 12 years ago. Okay. So this was a while ago, but one of these things, right?
It was in our infancy of getting hooked up.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like midway point.
I'm saying we were still being tricked.
Wrong.
We hadn't learned yet.
We had already done the cruise. And
we didn't learn from the cruise.
No, we didn't. So.
And we didn't learn from
but this one
ACN.
This one is wrong. Oh my God.
Oh goodness.
Are you all right there?
That guy's an idiot.
How much time do we have? Because I want to get to mine.
Listen,
okay.
hold on a second.
Go to you do yours, and I'm going to save mine to close.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. Okay.
What was it that happened?
Let me tell you something about snakes driving rented Jaguars. Named, what was his name? Carlos.
Oh, damn.
I don't care. I'll call him out. Listen, if he were in front of me right now, it wasn't Carlos.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't Carlos his cousin or the guy who was...
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, what was his name?
We'll think of it.
Yeah. Whatever. Listen, if that guy and his daughter were in front of us right now...
I would say...
I would punch him.
Be ashamed of yourself.
I would... Listen...
Well, the thing is...
They took us for a ride.
Well, because they told us that they had a great way to help us become financially free. All we had to do was go tell 2 people about the financial freedom, and those 2 people would tell 2 more people, which would make 4 people.
I wish we had a gym in our life that would walk up to the board and draw a triangle
and say,
around that.
That sounds like a pyramid scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme, we would say. It's not.
Oh my goodness, what was his name? Frank?
Why do I want to say Miguel?
No.
Dang it.
It was with an L.
It was with an L? Leo?
No, that's the other guy with the biscuits.
Anyway, we are at Walmart and we get a card on our car. Baby, oh my God, I'm just remembering the things we did.
All we did was we worked for them. We were a bunch of little...
And he comes and we get this thing that says, do you want to be financially free? Give us a call. And we call them, and this guy shows up, super nice guy, right? And he tells us the business plan. It's selling phone service. Phone service, that's it. Everybody needs phone service. Cell phone service, LAN service, fax service, We do
beeper
it all.
service. It was a whole 9 yards.
We do it all. Okay. And you know what? You know who wants you to succeed the most? Your family. Start with them. And we're like, really? So this is like this before it was Bell South.
My poor grandmother.
Oh, because the grannies. Why is it that the grandparents are the only ones who believe in us?
My poor grandmother, immediately, without any question.
Wow, I feel so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was the only one who switched. And then we were supposed to get, I don't know how many people to switch, 7 people, I think. They even tried to convince us to take out a second line in our own house because it would count. But where he said where you actually get the financial freedom is when you get other people to sell the phone service like you're doing right now. And how did you sign up for this? Oh, this is where he got us though, because he was like, for both of you to do it, it's $200. You got to give that down for us to get your package started.
$400.
$200 per person.
Right.
Okay. And we were like, oh no, definitely we can't. We're out. We don't have that kind of money. Clearly, that's why we're looking for financial freedom. Okay. And this is where he was really good. He was like, I will front you the money.
Like, I like you guys. You guys seem like you're
eager
and you're
gonna
and
work.
blah 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 blah.
And then he fronted the money for us, and he said, that's okay. From your very first check, this is how much I believe that you are going to make money on this. You just pay me back from your very first sale, which to us was freeing, that we didn't actually have to pay him out of our own, life income. And what did we do? We went and we made 1,000 or 5,000 of the same cards. Okay. And what did we do? We went to that Walmart parking lot, and I sat in the car with the children
as a watch
for the security guard who would drive around while you ran, sneaking between cars so that he wouldn't see you, putting these little cards on cars. And then I told you, if I blow my horn twice, he's coming towards you. Do you remember that?
And I would be running across and beep, beep, run over this way.
And then we get some calls.
Yep.
And they're like in terrible neighborhoods. Do you remember that?
Horrible.
I don't even know how you and I were so simple-minded to have
here's the thing.
there.
Here's the thing, right? We had gone to the top guy's house, and he was in this amazing house with amazing cars.
He was a
millionaire, blah blah. He was driving. This guy was driving a brand new Jaguar, wearing suits. I remember we went to his house, and you walk in, and it was empty.
I do remember that too.
They have it's all a front.
It is a facade.
It's a front.
Well, they were discovered
Yep.
later to be a pyramid scheme.
Yep.
Oh my God.
But I got you.
And we tried.
I got you.
Okay, but this is the last one that happened to us. This one I don't think anybody could see coming, to be honest with you. Tell me if I'm wrong, okay? But we told a couple that we knew and we considered we're starting a friendship, right? So it's more than acquaintances. Mm-hmm. You're in that in between. You're in that transition point, right? And we said, "Hey, do you wanna do dinner, lunch with us? Lunch, dinner? You wanna come hang out with us and do that? We're gonna go out to this restaurant to eat." And they were like, "Oh my God, yes, absolutely, great." We sit, we order. We have awesome conversation. It's wonderful, right? When the bill comes, the guy says, I see your face.
My mind.
I see your face. When the guy comes and he says 1 check or 2, simultaneously, we say 2, they say 1. And the server is looking at us between the 2 couples like, what? And now we're looking at each other like, what? What? And they have the audacity to say to us, You invited us to lunch, which means you're paying. And what did we do, hun?
Listen.
What did we do, hun? We took it like a champ and we paid.
Listen.
And we never invited them
Never.
again. How horrible is it that...
And we now make it clear.
We make it clear. Hey,
everybody... You know how horrible it is for us to ask friends, hey, would you like to come to the restaurant to have lunch... Individually, sitting across the table from us with your own check. Because we're not paying for you. But we'd like your company. Yes?
Hello. When we have invited people and it's our treat, we straight up say,
hey, our treat.
Our treat, come with us.
Well,
treat.
That happened recently.
Yes,
we went out with some friends and they invited us out to a restaurant and we had zero intention
at all.
We were ready to pay.
Absolutely.
We ordered what we ordered because that's what we were going to eat.
Exactly.
And they were thanking us for just, I don't know, being good friends, being there for them, whatever, just in the situation, the way that it was at that moment. Mm-hmm. And we were blown away by their generosity in that because it wasn't necessary, but they felt it necessary for them to say thank you to us. And
they said, we got it. We got it.
And we were, surprised. And at the same time, we were honored that they did that for us.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to happen, not going with the intention of
I fully always felt that we were taking advantage of that day because at no point did we say it was our treat. It was just like, hey, do you want to join us? And where in what dictionary,
well, let
in
me
what
tell you,
world does that exist?
That's where you learn.
Oh yeah.
And you cut the people out that need to be cut.
That's so true. But also, I feel like it's one of those terrible things that we have had to clarify with other people. Hey, it's not a treat. Okay. I feel like that's like one of the worst things that has now it's like, and that every other person that I've ever said that, hey, it's like separate checks. They're like, of course. I'm sorry. Like I never would have.
The assumption there is.
And I feel so terrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. So yeah, perhaps we've become a little bit jaded, a little bit.
Well, let me tell you,
wary of
the same way that we are picky with going out to places, we are picky with who we invite in.
That's true.
And that's become even more prevalent in the last year and a half.
Absolutely.
So, but
it's I think it's things that you learn.
It's been so good for us, though.
It has been so
good. It has been
and
amazing.
I think that for a lot of people, if whoever's listening, if you have toxic people in your life, if there's people who constantly bring you down or whose energy, like just being with them drains you all the time, everybody knows if you've got people like that in your life because not everybody has people like that in their life, but there's some people who only have people like that in their life, or there's like that one or two people that are like that in your life. And a lot of times
it's not worth the effort.
Right. But it's not even that it's not worth the effort. It's just, what is it doing to you in the long run? And a lot of times, and I can speak clearly from experience because, I feel like for such a long time, we were sort of in this place where we felt obliged. Like, well, you can't just cut off someone like that from your life, like pour them, they need someone, stuff like that. Right. And it's like, that's good and well when somebody wants help or they're, where there's like a mutual benefit for you and them being in each other's life, but not when it is something that brings you down or that is toxic to you, or it's just, if it drains the joy and the life out of you, that should not be part of your life.
We ask the question, is this person enhancing my time and my life, or are they taking more than I can refill?
And that might sound pretty harsh to somebody hearing that, right? But different circumstances have made us come to that evaluation where, to me, it's not so much that I'm saying, oh, what can I get out of them? But more is it like, do these people breathe life into mine? Okay. I don't want you to suck the life out of me.
Right.
Do you breathe life into me?
And we're not leeches. We're not looking
No.
for a friendship that's only coming one way.
Right.
We want it to be a reciprocal friendship.
Yes.
But we want for us to be a refuge for them and for them to be a refuge for us.
And let me tell you, the experience now that we have had with having these people in our life, that it's like this like push and pull of they're there for us, we're there for them.
And it's not like, oh, let's get together every weekend. Oh, let's get together all the time. No, it's hey, let's get dinner in a couple weeks. Great.
Yeah.
Boom, we'll go over to their house, they come to our house, whatever it may be. But that time is enjoyable.
Yes, and it's like a full recharge. It's amazing, and it's just like
we talked about this last week, where we have those certain friends that invite us, even though we feel a little bit more introverted. But when we go, we're like, whoa,
it's amazing.
That's what we needed.
It's amazing, And so just thinking about that, like life experiences taught us these things, right? And I know that for a lot of people, they're kind of stuck. You even told me this week that you had a conversation with somebody about somebody in their own life that they're kind of like, I feel like I need to cut them out. And it's hard because it feels harsh to do something like that. But
especially for someone who's been there in your life for such a long time.
Oh yeah. Those are the hardest ones to cut
they
out.
hurt because you love these people. You know, they're an important piece, but
I always think that, and I've seen this happen, where sometimes those relationships actually turn around and become something really great because you're no longer feeding off of each other. And that separation all of a sudden gives you perspective. You engage with them differently. There's things you set up different boundaries.
You end up saying, oh, wait a second. Maybe I was the problem here. And then you make adjustments.
Exactly. And
that friendship comes back even stronger.
Yeah. So yeah, just thanks. And just, it really has made me treasure and value so much more the people that we do have in our life. Just so much more in a different way, just because of these things that we have learned. So.
Yep, for sure. Well, anyways, if you need a hookup, I got you. I'll take care of you. Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Anyways, hey, something that we haven't mentioned in a little while. We have not mentioned our social media or our website. If you didn't know, now you know. We are on Instagram and Instagram only. The This and That Chat. You can participate in our polls. You can see different pictures and stuff that we put up when it's necessary for the week episode or whatever. And you can also find that on our website. And you can also reach out to us and ask us questions and things that you want to see us talking about. It's just an easy way to communicate to us. So we haven't talked about it in a couple weeks.
Sure. Especially if you need that recommendation.
Yeah, I got you. But
thank you to all our listeners.
Thank you so much for coming back every single week.
Yep.
And listening to us literally just talk. And a shout out to Illinois, because I don't know what's going on in Illinois, but you guys are really you guys are loving on us, because we have had so many downloads come from the state of Illinois in the last 2 episodes. We are blown away. So if you're from Illinois, shout out to you guys. And to everyone else who's joined us, because we really, we're across the country. Every single week we're surprised by how many listeners we have and how many people keep coming back. We started this as just a way for us to share stories and kind of document
during quarantine.
Yeah, just for us to just have a little bit of fun and put it down somewhere where we can go back and listen to it later. We never ever thought that we would get as much
traction
as it did, but we love it, and we love that you guys are there. And if there's something you want to hear us talk about, let us know. If not,
See you next time.
see you next week. Bye, guys.